So Fear of God Athletics is finally here. Now, we have a lot to unpack when it comes to this drop, so I just want to start with my personal experience. So of course, last week, Jerry Lorenzo, Fear of God, they revealed the campaign trailer, which it was kind of difficult to see looks here from the collection, but it kind of set the tone, created an atmosphere, gave us the vibe of what to expect for this collection. And then of course, shortly afterwards, we had several leaks, of course, including the entire collection, all the pieces, the footwear, including prices, which kind of started off the whole narrative and kind of the direction where this whole thing started to go downward. So of course, Jerry announced the official release would be going down Sunday, December the 3rd, which was yesterday. They kind of started things off with these little Fear of God atmosphere, pop-up type of events, again, creating that whole mood, showcasing all of the pieces with an interesting setup and all that or whatever. So people were actually able to buy the products early in advance. But of course, yesterday was the first official launch online, which Jerry announced it would be going down at 7 a.m. PST, which here on the East Coast, 11 a.m. Now, typically on Sunday mornings, I like to get a little extra rest in, so I like to sleep in. Now, 11 a.m. drop time, so I figured let me go ahead and set my alarm for let's say 10 a.m. just in case they decide to do anything funny. So once I jumped up, checked the Fear of God site, didn't see any of the products listed yet, but after doing some quick navigation, it looks like they dropped them joints early. So I'm not even sure if they dropped them before 10 a.m. or whatever, but I instantly jumped in, saw all the clothing and everything, passed on all the clothing, stuff like that. Don't get it twisted. I feel like them joints are hot, but as far as the pricing goes, just a little bit out of my budget. Now, as far as the shoes go, we had the basketball model. So you had two colorways. You got what they're calling carbon, the double black joints. And then of course you have the carbon sesame, I believe they were calling them. That's the joint with the little gray toe cap area. Now that pair, of course, it looks like was a fearofgod.com exclusive. And then the other pair also dropped via the Confirmed app. Now, as far as the low top sneakers, of course, we have the Fear of God 86 low. They had three different colorways, a brown joint, which dropped on Confirmed as well. And then you had two different grays, one in a lighter tone, Fear of God exclusives. And then you had the Fear of God Los Angeles. I tried to tell you guys about that. It looks like I was right. Officially the Fear of God Los Angeles. And then you also had the slide as well. And out of all of the clothing items, all of the sneakers and everything like that, surprisingly, the first pieces to sell out weren't the sneakers, but some of the clothing items. I believe the poncho as well as the relaxed trousers were the only items that have officially sold out even up till this moment. So are you surprised that the majority of the items are currently sitting still on the website? Let's go ahead and talk about pricing, because I feel like that's one of the major conversational pieces online and one of the narratives being pushed on why this collection is currently sitting. So as far as the pricing, we know the clothing items extremely expensive. Many people would say overpriced, and if you ask me, I can't disagree. Although I feel like the pieces are quality in general, I just feel like everything overall is overpriced. So I'll say it's overpriced, but as far as the prices go for the footwear items, I would say that they are somewhat reasonable, as we have the basketball model coming in at 250 bucks. You got the 86 low retailing at 200, the Fear of God Los Angeles at 190, and then the slides 100 bucks, which may seem a little expensive for a basic looking pair of Adidas slides, but of course with the Fear of God touch, this is a little bit of a premium elevated experience that you have here. And overall, with all of the footwear, everything looks really quality to me, so I would say it's overpriced just like everything in the footwear industry. But as far as the current market, I would say these prices are somewhat reasonable. If it was up to me, personally, I would rather see the basketball model retail somewhere right in the range of 220, 230. We'll go ahead and say those 86 lows should have probably been more in the 150 to $180 range. As far as the Los Angeles, them joints could have been under $150 most definitely. And the slides, I feel like they should have kind of kept it competitive right in that Yeezy slide range. About 80 bucks, I feel like would have been a lot more reasonable. Now, as far as the prices, I feel like if they would have went with my suggestions, while they maybe wouldn't have made as much of a profit, I feel like they possibly could have moved a lot more units. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and just like blame everything on the price, because I still feel like even though everybody complains that the economy is down right now, I still feel like people are gonna go out and do whatever it takes to grab a pair of sneakers that they want. I mean, you still got people out here paying like $700, $800, up to $1,000 for Travis Scott golf shoes. So while I would say the prices were a little bit crazy, I mean, they're still somewhat reasonable. And if people really wanted this stuff like really bad like that, if there was resale and these were like super limited, trust me, people would do whatever it takes to get these. But in my honest opinion, I feel like Jerry really could care less about resale. Remember, this collection, this collaboration was over 3 years in the making. They originally announced this back in 2020, and it's now December of 23, and we're just now getting the first official drop. I feel like Jerry was tired of all the games, all the shenanigans, and he just wanted to release these pieces to the people. So, I mean, not only do you not just have one single sneaker that everybody could get all crazy about, you have a full collection of clothing, you have a wide selection of footwear pieces. So there was a lot of items to go around. And I feel like when sneaker brands do these drops, I mean, just take a look at how Nike releases their products. Before the official release, they're gonna drop them like 3 different times, whether it's a shock drop, exclusive access, all those little games, all those little hoops they want you to jump through, while Jerry Lorenzo just simply put these products available online, and whoever wanted to grab them just could grab them. So whether they're sitting or not, it's up to you if you want to go with the narrative that these were overpriced, nobody rocks with these or not. The products are there, they speak for themselves. So this is a great time to be a sneakerhead. If you want these, you can grab them. This is like the old days when there was a hot pair of Jordans that just came out. You could literally just go to your local Foot Locker store, whatever mom and pop's joint, and just go ahead and try them on, see how you like them, see if they fit, and go ahead and cop them. Now on the Fear of God site, everything was final sale, but I believe with the Adidas confirmed drop, everything is able to be returned. And of course, they do have a current raffle going on for the carbon basketball joints. So if you want to check them out and be able to have the option to return them, you know, just go ahead and enter the draw via confirm, because if you buy them from the Fear of God site, unfortunately they have a no return policy. And again, you know, it is kind of pricey, so definitely make sure you guys check it out. Make sure you fully want to buy these before you know, commit to buy the full price. Now, as far as what I went for, I mentioned, you know, I passed up on all the clothing items. Again, not really for me and a little bit out of my budget. But as far as the footwear, I'm a big fan of what this Fear of God Athletics collection has to offer. I mean, the slide, I'm cool on. It's not really my thing. The Los Angeles, not a huge fan of. They kind of give me like Gucci, Raton vibes almost. I'm not a huge fan of those, but it is important to note that the Los Angeles is an update to a classic Adidas model. Now, the 86 low, I happen to be a big fan of this model. I like how it gives like an elevated look to the Rivalry low, which formerly was a basketball model. I love the chunky sole, and I just feel like the silhouette overall like has a chunkier aesthetic. I feel like they look great on feet, but not really for me, you know, not my thing. But if you're looking for something like a simple casual sneaker, almost in the line of a Samba, but something much more elevated and premium, I feel like this is a great option. And these joints look really cool on feet. There's so many different ways you can wear them. Now, as far as the basketball model, if you guys are following the channel, you guys already know I've had my eyes on these. I feel like these joints look beautiful overall. So I was kind of torn on the carbon pair or the pair with the gray, the sesame joint, which was the Fear of God exclusive. You know, I was having a tough time, and luckily, since the pairs were sitting, I was able to just take my sweet time to make my decision, because I was definitely gonna grab a pair of these basketball models to check out. So I actually went with the Fear of God exclusive sesame pair. So hopefully those joints will be coming in soon. You know, check out for the channel, let you guys know my true thoughts on them. Jerry did recommend to half size up, so I went with a size 11 from my true to size 10.5. So let me know down below, did any of you guys cop anything from this Fear of God drop? Did you feel like it was too expensive, or did you listen to all the influencers out there and felt like these joints were overpriced and not hot? Because definitely I'm rocking with the collection. I feel like 3 years may have been a long ways in the wait, but of course we all know there was some little behind the scenes things going on, and Jerry, you know, he had to be completely inspired and felt like the timing was right before the product release. So it seems like overall, like as far as the sneaker community, is it even a sneaker community anymore? It just kind of feels like it's like a Nike, Jordan brand fans, and then you have everybody else, which I feel like it's like a 90-10 split where the majority of people that are into sneakers only buy retro Jordans and like Nike Dunks. Let me know if I'm right or wrong on that. So I feel like as far as the Fear of God line, which originally began back in 2013, I feel like it reached its like peak height, maybe like 2015 to like, let's say 2018 or something like that. Of course, Jerry had the Fear of God Nike line, which was a success on the first basketball drop, but then it seemed like a lot of the other silhouettes were kind of what the kids call bricks, and you could catch them on sale. So for me, I feel like the Fear of God brand may not be as strong as it once was, but as far as the pricing and everything, kind of overpriced. I feel like they should have maybe went with like the essentials route. I was hoping for us to meet us somewhere in the middle, you know, make these pieces a lot more accessible to your everyday consumer, but you know, they chose to go the premium route. But when you compare what Jerry dropped for Fear of God Athletics with Adidas compared to his Nike line, I gotta say the Adidas joints are killing everything that he dropped with Nike, from the basketball down to the lifestyle models. Everything that he dropped with Adidas, I feel like is 10 times better than the Nike product. So let me know what you guys think. And overall, you know, while I feel like it did kind of take a long time, I'm satisfied with what we got. I'm excited to check out those basketball joints when they come in. We'll see if they make it into my rotation, or if I have to let them joints go. You know, of course, for me, you know, I got them for research purposes, but overall, I was still feeling the design. So hopefully I rock with them. You know, they're a pair of shoes that go great with a pair of sweatpants, but then again, like everything goes with a pair of sweatpants. So I'm looking for a pair of sneakers that, you know, can take it to a different level. Give me something that I haven't experienced before. And I feel like these basketball joints might be the one. Now, if you guys copped them, did you go carbon or did you go carbon sesame? I'm still kind of torn. I don't know if I made the right decision or not, but we'll see how it goes once them joints come in. So be on the lookout for that review. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Now, as far as making this whole Fear of God rollout a lot more successful, I don't know if Fear of God can really just sell off of its name alone. I feel like they could have did a little bit more. You know, I feel like they should have probably seeded people pairs early, you know, gave them out to YouTubers, influencers, whatever you want to call them. I hate that word influencer, but they should have been doing a little bit more for the rollout. I think built it up, and you could have a much more exciting drop, kind of like how they're doing with the AE1s. I feel like that rollout is amazing. But regardless, Fear of God is here. No hype, all that. You can just easily get the product. We're taking it back to those old head sneaker days. If you like the sneakers, you could just go ahead and buy them. No jumping through all of those hoops and all that. So let me know what you guys think about the product overall. Do you feel like it was overpriced? Do you feel like it was reasonable based on today's market? And of course, the most important question, did you guys grab anything? So let me know down below. If you haven't done so yet, be sure to drop a thumbs up here on this video, and I'll catch you guys next time. Make sure y'all stay safe, stay blessed. I'm J.A., and I'm out, y'all. Love.